This is One on One. David Jefferson Jr. is Youth and Young Adult Minister, Metropolitan Baptist Church, Program Director of a great program called My Brother's Keeper in Newark, New Jersey. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me here.
For those who do not know, My Brother's Keeper is?
Well, My Brother's Keeper is an exciting rollout initiative from our president, Barack Obama, intended to provide opportunities for young men of color and young Latino men as well. It's an offering out of the president that he noticed that there was a major issue, even before what we see that is going on currently now in current events with throughout the nation.
You were taping this on December the 5th, Eric Garner, the situation out in Ferguson, Michael Brown, a lot going on.
A lot going on, and you can feel the temperature rising. But what's exciting is that it's good to know that there have been some initiatives that have been underway to try to address this even before it's come to fruition. And I think it speaks to the timing of the day. It also speaks to the component that we need to put something actionary in place instead of just reacting. And so it's going to be interesting to see where we head from here with this initiative across the nation, because it's cities across the nation who are accepting this challenge to provide change from what is occurring.
Why you?
Good question. To say why me, you know, I've been working in this sector for about 14 years. I started out young working in the youth developmental programming component. I was able to start a nonprofit organization.
Tell folks about the church.
Well, the church, I'm a third-generation Baptist preacher.
Tell folks what that means.
What that means, my grandfather was a Baptist preacher from Louisiana, and my father is a pastor here as well.
At Metropolitan Baptist Church.
Correct.
A lot of history there.
A lot of history. You could even say one of Dr. King's greatest messages that he ever preached was at Metropolitan Baptist Church. So we have a good legacy. Our membership base is strong. You know, our senator is a member, the mayor, Ras Baraka frequents, and he comes through as a member. So we're kind of tied into the community, but we also have connections in regards to those that want to come and be involved in a spiritual environment and grow from there. So we're doing well,
You know, given everything we were talking about before, and given, again, we're taping the program when we're taping, and at the end of 2014, this program will be seen. We'll be seen after that. We don't know how things are going to play out. The federal government, the Justice Department, Department of Justice will be very much involved in these civil rights cases now.
Good, yes.
All right? Policemen-our relations are what they are and are not where they need to be. So how do you see, Dave, the role of the church in all this?
I'm glad you asked that question. Steve, I'll be honest with you. My foundation relies in the fact that I have a strong belief in hope with faith. And so...
You have faith in the justice system?
I have faith in the divine system, which I think has power over this particular justice system. And what does that mean? You know, I take it back to even the foundation of this country. There was still a component of faith there when you look at the structuring of America. And what that says to me is, you know, those founding fathers were confident that there was a higher component, a divine, in the structuring of this. So, you know, I have that hope and I have that faith. And I know a lot of individuals push back on me because of that, but I think that that trust and that faith and that hope can push the judicial system to a place of understanding for all. I still do believe in that. I mean, we still speak of God in the judicial system. In God we trust is stated, and we stand before God with the Bible and the judicial system in the courts. So I think we've taken the focus away from, there has been a battle between good and evil from the beginning of time. But how do we as human beings galvanize around good and evil and recognize that it has nothing even to do with this hue that we wear, this color of our skin that it seems to be a differential, but in all, you know, in all reality, if you study it, we created race. Humankind is a dialogue that we have kind of gone away from. And I think with faith, because I have friends across the board that are atheists, that are Muslim, but when we get together, there's a humankind component that I think we're missing out on here.
And you're you feel strongly that your message is resonating, particularly with young black men, Latino young men, teenagers, who particularly post, and Michael Brown, people decide for themselves. Eric Garner is tougher for a lot of folks because it seems more clear-cut. It seems. You talk to those folks, you talk to the young men and women, particularly black and Latino, and you say, hey, listen, have faith. And they say?
Initially, they push back on me right now.
Have faith in what?
The pushback comes because there has to be a period of mourning. You know, we study this. I'm in theology school now at Princeton studying, and one of the components that we have to go through is, you know, whenever there's a death, there's a stage, and there's stages that you need to go through to come out of it. And what we're seeing now...
Elizabeth Kubler-Ross taught us that, right?
That's very true, yes. I mean, and it's working itself where that model is one that I'm able to draw on because, you know, I've read
Look at the background you have.
Okay, all right.
Look at the background, look at the advantage.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, but it must be incredibly difficult given your background, your theological background, the reading, the research, the studying. And you got this kid who's sitting there saying, are you kidding me?
But that's why I have to challenge him, Steve. I mean, I'll be real honest with you.
You know,
we haven't done...
No, Chris Rock said, I think Chris Rock's tweet right after it. Do you see what he said?
No, I didn't see.
He's sitting there killing us right on film now. And you know, who am I to say, you know, what he should or shouldn't say? But when he says that, and a lot of young people respond, they're like, you're right. So that's why I asked, faith in what? That the federal government comes in, and you're saying there's something more powerful than the federal government.
Yeah, I am, because, you know, growing up and being exposed to, you know, and I call him Uncle Al, but Reverend Al Sharpton and Uncle Jesse, I was at the knees of these men at a young age, watching them fight for justice for people who couldn't speak for themselves, not only here in these streets, but in corporate boardrooms. We had issues with diversity, and so there was a push there that after the baby boomers came through and affirmative action worked so well, we saw components in America where we were reaching places of equality, but only to see that it would be dissipated. And so what I say to these young people, and first of all, I have to stay
Couple seconds, go ahead.
I have to stay on the narrative. The narrative is this: good, if we gather around it together, will overcome evil at any time.
Got no choice.
No choice.
The alternative is not acceptable.
Not at all.
David Jefferson Jr., I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll keep track of my brother's keeper as well, and also Metropolitan Baptist Church. We appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Stephen, you as well. Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Stay with us in NJ Pack right after this. Good stuff.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJ Pack has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and by the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, in cooperation with NJTV and 13 for WNET. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJ Pack has been provided by Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, United Airlines, the New Jersey Education Association, NJ Best, Josh S. Weston, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the law firm of Gibbons PC. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com. And by NJ Biz, all business, all New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.